Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and a very warm welcome from the UK to the Film and Music Show on USA Global TV and Radio. So welcome to YouTube, USA Global TV and Radio, LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram as well. So what I was going to say is it's very exciting for today's episode of the Film and Music Show because it's the last show of this year of 2024. And how exciting the fact that we have an amazing guest. She's been on the show before, but she's really progressed even more. And she's here to talk about the next journey, what she's doing in the process. Her name is Glenda Benevides. She's a musician, songwriter, artist. She currently has 2 books, very well selling on Amazon, called Soul on Fire and The Goddess Within. She's a catalyst of positive change. The most important news is she is a Grammy nominee for 2025 for February, which with her song We Walk on Past. Now, the fact that she's a Grammy nominee is because in this song We Walk on Past, have you ever heard of a song that features a lonely woman, a hungry child, a broken soldier, a homeless man, a missing father, a sister that's gone, a jailed brother, and a dying person, all in the verses? The song title is called Walk on Past, and it's about walking past tragedies. So, Film and Music Show, welcome with great pleasure and honor to Grammy nominee, the beautiful badass goddess, Glenda Benevides.
Madalene, that is amazing. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. As
You're
beautiful as you are.
No, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Glenda, since you've been on last time was a couple of months ago. So within that time, can you tell the viewers, first of all, who haven't watched that program, can you just introduce yourself to the viewers from your perspective?
Okay. Good evening, good morning, good day. No. Hi, everybody. I'm Glenda Benevides, singer, songwriter, Grammy nominated this year. Actually, I'm Grammy nominated for a contemporary blues album with a fabulous artist named Antonio Vergara, excuse me. And that's just so exciting and delightful to be part of that project. It's an album nomination, so there's a lot of different artists on it, and I happen to be one. I'm a collaborator on the song called "The Rebel's Right," and just that suits me. That suits me in my own music. So, yeah, and we walk on past. Thank you for saying that. Madalene, because We Walk on Past is pretty poignant, and it's kind of a heavy song, but it's also uplifting, and it just really kind of points to where in our life do we walk on past. do we walk on past that person or this situation, and not really say what we think or feel for whatever fears there is. So it was kind of my homage to what's happening on the planet, and that we can all come together and unify and also speak our own truth. So anyway, that's what's happening with that song and the Grammy nomination. So I'm really excited.
And it's amazing, Glenda, the fact that you have a song with all those different characters. It's like a film, a movie contained in a song.
Yeah.
How fabulous is that? What made you have the idea?
I think my own life, and I think everybody knows, like, you feel so separated sometimes from each other, and you go out to the store and you see somebody, laying in the street or whatever, and you just like, how do I really support that person? It's not always about, oh, give them money or whatever. And they're, who knows? And we're all kind of jaded in that way. Not to say that that's a bad thing, because it happens. I find myself going, I don't want to deal with that. Or, that stresses me out. Or I don't want to just give them money and then they just go drink or, do drugs. I don't want to support that. Right. But then your heart bleeds because you see that that's something, they need something. And then I try to remind myself, and I think this has been really key. I try to remind myself that everyone on this planet has a plan and a purpose, and that we're all divine beings and we're all going through whatever we need to go through. So we may set something up for our trials and tribulation to go through something. I've seen it in my world. I've been 1 minute from homeless. I've slept in cars. I've couch surfed, so to speak. I mean, I obviously was never on a street, but, I understand that, but I pulled myself out, and I pulled myself out because I also, who I was being was a person that was proactive and was looking for solutions, looking for resolve, looking for those things, and being a kind person. And then I would have people come to me, and that's how I got off the street, so to speak. I don't want to say the street because I've never been on a street, but not even to busk. So anyway,
Couch surfing.
yeah, couch. Yeah. And it's troubling because, like, I didn't have parents. My parents were both passed at the time, so it's a pretty scary place to be. And everyone has their own situation, everybody has their own thing. And we almost have to like allow and trust each other to follow our inner guidance to go, yeah, I need to help that person, or no, they need to like help themselves, or, I mean, it could be a matter of just like giving somebody a card that you've printed up that says, go to this, here's the address, or here's the phone number if they have a phone, to go get help, and of course, now we get into drugs and all this other stuff. That's a whole nother addiction problem. It's complicated. So anyway, I was just looking at that, and I was looking at, everyone's trials, basically.
I think it's amazing the fact that, do you think that if you would have had any kind of addiction with alcohol association or any kind of drug taking, do you think you would have been able to pull yourself out, have the solution as quickly as what you found it, from being kind of homeless, but not on the street?
Knowing me, yeah, I could have. But knowing me, I'm a what do you call it? I do precursors. So, being a traveling musician all my life, I was always around. I was around drugs and alcohol, always smoking, drinking, all of it. I never went there because I cared so much about myself and my voice and how I was that was my livelihood, So why would I start smoking and drinking and doing drugs? Everyone else did around me. I know a lot of times people assume that if you're a musician, that you're a drug addict or you're drinking or whatever. And that is not true. Not, at least not for me. And people that really care about their craft, they're not necessarily going to go there. But I think I'm just going to add this because I think it's a little more complicated than just, oh, I took a drink and now I'm an alcoholic. It's more of a place of, your who you are as a person, like what is underneath everything. And that's where everything starts. If you've got emotional issues or trouble issues or victimization, and you feel like you're a victim and you live like that, you're gonna go down a path that's gonna take you one step more towards victimization. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you can stop that and be aware and stop yourself and go, I need some help. Like, how do I get help? And just be curious. Be curious about why do I struggle with my parents? Why am I feel like everyone's at me? Why am I a person of color? And it just feels like X, Y, and Z, right? You just got to keep looking for the win. You just have to look for the win, not for the lose. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Glenda, it's interesting you're on this, because if you look at the way that celebrities are, the way that their lives were taken, or they took their own lives, and the fact that did they realize they had that victimization, that anxiety, those demons, or the shadows? I'm wondering, do you think that they realized they had that, and that's why they became so out of the ordinary and did the industry? It's quite interesting.
That's a great question, actually, that you're posing.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I have, and I've thought about it a lot. And I think, of course, everybody has their own journey. Okay. So it's not one size fits all, right? Sometimes people that are victims become victimized. They victimize others, right? Some people don't. They just stay completely away from that. I think that sometimes when you're a really young person and you have dreams like we all do as we're kids, oh, I want to be famous, or I want to, I just want to do music. And, you're thinking about from those perspective, it's really an innocent place of sitting in that. And so a lot of times that allows and leaves those innocent spirits open to the possibility of being taken advantage of. Even some of us that have innocent spirits that are older, we have been taken advantage of. That's just part of that horrible game that happens. It's almost like it's a virus, that he preys on people like that. So I think if you started out young, and if your persons around you are not protecting you or not giving you the insights or the knowledge of, hey, this may not be good for you, you can find yourself going down a path of feeling really lost. And then that allows you to fall into, well, I feel stuck. I'm just, as an example, I'm stressed out. They want me to tour, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. I don't feel control of my life. So, and then someone comes along and says, here, this will bump you up, hey, this will take care of that. And then you start taking that. Next thing you know, got a problem,
Yeah.
Because you're not dealing with how you really feel,
Well, with Glenda, with you being an artist out there and been singing for quite a few decades and doing touring, did you find that when you went to tour in different places, did you have time to actually explore the country or the place or the culture, or was it hotel room after hotel room after flying on the plane? How did that affect you?
Sometimes we had time, sometimes we didn't. And that's part of youth. That's kind of great about youth, because you got lots of energy. You're like, yeah, whatever, let's go. What hotel room am I in now? Which is fine, But after a while, you stop and you kind of go, yeah, but I really want to explore that. I was lucky when I was in Japan. We had hosts there that were really fabulous, and they took us all around. So we did have downtime. We did have great people that supported us and took care of us. And, so I got to see a lot of things that, you wouldn't necessarily see, or you'd spend thousands of dollars on a holiday. Right. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, it has, Glenda.
Yeah.
Can we go on to your words in your bio was saying that you're a catalyst of positive change because you have courage, confidence, commitment, and community. You're actually, I mean, I've known you now for a while. I've met you here on the Film and Music Show with Dr. Jacalyn, and absolutely. How are you bringing courage, confidence, commitment, and community? And why is it important to bring these keywords into the world, into humanities right now?
Yeah. I think we're all really being called to really go within, create. And I always say that how it started for me was I just had to create a foundation, and the foundation is all around clarity. And that's a daily experience. Clarity is daily. And who am I today? What do I want to do today? What's important? What's the priorities? Do I have goals? Do I not? What's my purpose? Those are the kind of things that one needs to continually ask oneself. And you're different at different stages of life. So, what you wanted at 20 and what you want at 40 are completely probably different things if you've evolved your spirit. That's all I got to say about that. And there are still people out there. Anyway, so that's just my thoughts on that. But starting with clarity, then if you have clarity, then you can have the courage to step forward. You can have the courage. It's like, I'm going to go ahead and try that. And then once you have the courage, you kind of get out there and then you do it again. And then you have confidence. Then confidence starts coming into your way of being and thinking and whatever. And then once that confidence is there, then you go, well, I'm totally committed to this, just like working with Dr. Madeleine and with you and talking to you in a third person. That's great. That's fabulous. She's not even here. Anyway, we did the same process, working on a retreat together, and this beautiful retreat that we're going to be putting on. And so inside of that, then you go, okay, well, I'm committed to this. This is totally in line with me. I'm totally clear about who I am and what I want and my purpose. And this really supports me. And it also creates that confidence. And then, and so you have more courage, you have more confidence. It kind of bleeds back and forth with each other. And then once that's going, man, you got commitment and you're steamrolling right ahead with whatever it is that you're passionate about. And then you get into that. And then guess what? You draw in community. And that's how it works. Everybody wants to know what the shining star is and how they can be a part. And then we have the opportunity to go, come on in, and this is how you can play. And that's how it works.
That is so badass goddess. I can understand now why you get the name badass goddess, because number one, you're a goddess and you just tell it as it is. You are a badass. Absolutely. Goddess. Big time. I was going to say, so Glenda, with having two books, Soul on Fire, and Own the Goddess Within, that is courage in itself. Own the Goddess Within. Who are you actually relating to when you say Own the Goddess Within?
Yeah. Both the books, they're both, it's not necessarily any gender specific, because we all have masculine, feminine inside of ourselves. I love using the word goddess because it just really evokes this inner, dark, deep, sensual place inside of ourselves, all of ourselves, male, female, whatever you're relating to. And it's just this wonderful balance. And then as I was writing it, I really wanted to write from a place of a ritual. What is it that we can do, and to add ritual back into our life? And all ritual is, it's no hot buttons on this. All ritual is every day I get up and I stretch. Every day I get up and I listen to something that uplifts me. Every day I get up and I breathe deeply. I do breathing exercise, right? Every day I get up, I go for a walk. Like, those are kind of things that you start to create ritual that actually supports and inspires and creates depth in one's being. So it doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing, but if you're creating something that again, going back to clarity, something that you love, like, for example, my happy place, which I didn't know, was a really good massage. And I don't mean like any kind of massage. I mean like a good massage therapist, somebody that really gets you and relates to you. So that's great for me. But you know what? That's not great for everybody. Some people don't want to be touched in that way, or they're too sensitive or whatever. Maybe for them, a beautiful mud bath, or just a walk, or hanging out with their pets. That's a ritual. That's something that invigorates and inspires and allows you to rest and rejuvenate. And so I wrote both of those books from that place. They're real practical ways of doing things and thinking about stuff. So
that's fantastic. And our viewers can buy your books on Amazon.
Correct.
Yeah. Amazon. They just put your name in Amazon, and then your book
you'll find. Yeah, just you can just go. Yeah,
the seeker will find it. The seeker. So Glenda,
it's on my website too. You can find it.
Fantastic. So just before we look at your website, just want to talk about, do you feel right now there's a new birth of artists, singer-songwriter artists that are more balancing with nature and music, like spirituality, but not in religious, but more spirituality and nature and the creative arts as well?
Absolutely. I was just invited to Los Angeles. I'm up in Northern California in San Francisco, and I was just invited down for a beautiful performance for some fantastic world artists. They do. It's in a category that they're nominated. It's called, I think, chant and new age music, and it's really beautiful. And I was so inspired by just the musical prowess and talent and heart and really the love of humanity. And I was reinvigorated and re-inspired, because there were moments with all this Diddy stuff, I was ready, like, I'm embarrassed, like, I just want to, that's so dark and disgusting that I wanted to just like, oh, if my business is like this, I was like, I don't want to be a part of it. And I felt like that. It was really sad. I mean, because I'd been a long time artist and musician professionally. So yeah, so that was really, really challenging. And then going down there and seeing them, I was like, oh my God, there's some beautiful people. And I'm talking about like really pros, not somebody drumming in somebody's backyard.
Although that's quite relaxing in itself. Get your shaman, get your drum and start to
exactly.
Or your pan music or something. So
right.
Glenda, let's have a look at your wonderful website, and you can talk us through it. So okay. The lovely Heather, our producer for the Film and Music Show, she's going to be showing us the website. Thank you, Heather. Oh my goodness. Look at that hair. Right. So Glenda, where it says, okay, I love the different looks, the images you have.
Thank you. That is a live shot of me in Scotland at the blues and rock and blues festival. That was cool.
Shaka Khan, look at that hair.
Shaka Khan. Thank you. I'll take it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we could have a look at maybe, let me see, the music. Would that be good? the new
Sure.
music?
Sure. Takes you right there. We walk on past. That's what we were talking about earlier.
And this is the Grammy nominee?
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, go to the Grammy nominated.
okay.
I think it's on the first page. You might have to scroll back up. I think we're on the first page still. I think. There it
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Blues
Yeah.
album.
Yep. Best contemporary blues album this year. And it's with it. The album is called The Fury, as you
Right.
can see. And
Yeah.
I'm singing on The Rebel's Right on that album. So that's where you can hear me sing, if that's of interest. But yeah, you can just, if you click on it, says The Rebel's Right. Just click on it. It'll take you right there if you want
That's
to hear
fabulous.
it.
And how can
Mhm.
people support you with
You know,
regards to your nominee, your Grammy?
yeah, thank you. Well, just to let people know that a Grammy nomination actually is with your peers. So you have to become a Grammy voter, a Recording Academy voting member. And once you've done that, then of course you can vote. But most people are not musicians, they're not artists, and that's fine. And the best way to do that is actually go listen to my music, and make playlists and buy my music for $1, that type of thing. Anytime you do that, like not only for me, but you do it for other people, other artists, that really supports them and it uplifts them and says, hey, people are really interested in what I have to say, because that's really what we're doing. We're chanting melodic, insights about things. And then if you purchase anything, like I've got my Pride mug, I've got, I support LGBTQ, I plant trees. And so all of that, anytime you purchase anything, which I can see who's purchased, then what I do is I take $1 off of that purchase and I send it to a company called One Tree Planted. So basically I'm planting a tree for all of us each time. So yay.
Excellent. Do for the
Yay.
planet. You gotta
see, we're doing it together.
That's fabulous, Glenda. That is so how can people listen to your music?
First of all, I think you can go to my site. You can go to Glenda Music, which is really easy. I know it's glendabenevides.com, but I also have Glenda Music. So you can go right there. Real simple. Glenda Music, see, you can listen to my music there. You can also buy the album, and it's donation. It's from a place of, a minimum of, and then you can, I've had people buy my album for $50, which blew me off my chair. I was like, wow. But you do what you can. It doesn't, if $1 is $1, $50 is $50. So it doesn't matter. It's just the intention. It's the intention behind supporting live music, supporting artists, because without us, we would be a very dreary culture.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Music is a universal language, song, melody, verse, dancing. Oh, Dr. Jacalyn.
Hey.
Hello. Hi,
Happy
Dr. Jacalyn. Happy holiday. Festive holiday.
Yay.
That's so sweet about it.
I love it.
So, Glenda, what have you got planned for your 2025? What would be, I know it might be, everyone has their New Year resolutions.
Yeah. Man, it's a daily resolution.
You don't have to tell your private New Year resolutions, but just around that neighborhood, maybe?
Yeah. Well, several things is happening. So I'm going to be working on a new album this next year. I think I've been doing singles mostly. So I think I'm going to do an EP actually. It's between 4 to 6 songs. I'll be putting that out. That's very theme oriented. And there's some other things that they're kind of in the works with that. So we'll be doing that. And then I'm working with a fabulous singer. He was Susan Boyle's vocal coach for like 10 years. And he sings from heaven, I'm telling you. So he's in Scotland and he wants to bring me there. And I think we're going to be doing some music together and possibly a little tour. We'll see how that works out. And then towards the summer, starting June 7th and 8th, I think, I will be having a wonderful retreat for goddesses to show up and shine and listen to some amazing artistry. And Dr. Madalene will be there teaching her beautiful vocal prowess. And we're working on it. It's not quite finished yet.
And
but
we've also got Dr. Jacalyn with the power of elevated listening.
That's
and
right.
To promote her book and
That's
her
right.
courses as well. So we're just in the progress, but it's more or less definitely going to happen.
That's
Definitely.
right. And we'll definitely let you know when it's up and rolling and ready to go. So,
and there's also chakra psychology and everything.
Yeah, we'll have
crystals. With crystals.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, what do you think the world needs right now, Glenda? What do you think right now?
Needs
now
is love, sweet love.
But what would you say, apart from courage, confidence, commitment, and community, which we definitely do?
Yeah, unity in action. In action. It's right on my website.
Goddess, you are on it. You are on it. You are totally the best, goddess. Love it. Unity and action.
Yes.
Yeah, because so many people talk, right? They do the talk, and talk, and give all the lovely vision of words and everything. But if there's no go to action, then it's all talk. It's all talk. I just want to ask you a question now. Have you ever? What's the most strangest thing you've ever encountered in the physical, in reality?
Yeah. I think I was. It was a turning point for me, and I was, I think, 13. And I was a devout Catholic and trying to be a budding Protestant, devout Catholic. And I would make my parents take me to church. I wanted to be, I wanted to be a nun, really. And I was going through the angsty periods of young adult, not adult, I guess, teen. And it was raining outside. So I went back into the church and everybody was gone. And I was so sad. And I was on my knees and I was praying to Jesus, please, Jesus, help me. And I was crying and angsty. And all of a sudden, and there was nobody in this church. It was like a 2,000 seat church. It was a massive Catholic church. And all of a sudden in my right ear, I hear, Glenda, God is not outside of you. God is within. And I opened my eyes and I looked around and there was nobody in the church. And I literally got up, walked out. And as I walked out, my parents pulled up and I never went back. And I've been on that riddle for all of my life. That's probably one of the strangest
Was
things.
this before you started to sing or do any kind of?
No, I was always singing. Yeah,
you were always singing.
Always singing. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
So you do you feel that that's the universe, God, everything, the prime creator talking to you with the angel and guides. Wow. How old were you?
Oh, I think I was like 13 or something like that.
That's really profound.
Yeah, it was.
That message.
It was.
Maybe had you not had that message, your life would have gone a different direction.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You were called at a young age.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I always say I've been awake for a long time. I've been awake before anybody was awake. I was like, Jesus, I'm alone
here.
Not
easy, is it?
No.
This path. Everyone's saying, "Oh, I can't wait for me to awake. Can't wait for." Yeah, right. But you know what? Once you awake, you that's when journey begins.
Oh,
It
yeah.
begins then.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So how long would you say that you are being fully awake now?
Well, it's levels, right? It's daily levels. That started me on, what does that mean? And then I went from church to church thinking it was the message, or, it
Yeah.
was the people. And it was like, oh, I like the people, but whatever they're talking about was crap. And, oh, I like what they're saying, but I don't really like the people, And so what I realized through that first step was, it's not outside of me. It's not this church or that church or whatever that it's within. And I did end up with a unity church, or unity, I don't know what they call it now, but it was wonderful because it introduced me to a lot of different spiritual practices, Hinduism, Buddhism, that type of thing, because they had everything in there. And we meditated before the service started. And then in the service, what was fabulous about the service is they never read from scripture. They were talking about, how do you live your life in a powerful way, like in a more higher conscious spiritual way. So I was like, oh, that's really neat. And through that, I met a lot of other people, and you start meeting your community, and you start doing new things. And I'm going to go over here with crystals, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do Wicca, and I'm going to try that, and then you just kind of adds to who you are in life and your personality.
Wish fulfillment. Wouldn't it be wonderful, Glenda, if all this teaching that you had, that's not in education schools, wouldn't it be wonderful for it to be introduced into schools, so kids learn this at a young age?
Yeah,
and
because
the families, the parents as well.
I love that you said that, because it's really, that helps people not be afraid. If you're not afraid, then you don't have to shun somebody, or you don't have to label something. Oh, that's bad. Or, oh, they're another color. Or, oh, that, oh, I'm afraid of that. And they don't even necessarily know that they're afraid. It just shows up like, ugh, or ick, or, or whatever. They're taking our jobs. Yeah.
So a lot of competition, low vibration stuff.
Yeah.
You got to get this to the schools.
I know. It's so funny. We talked about that. I was talking about that with some other artists. And, it's like, if we would really learn the empowering things, like the body and how it really works, and meridians and all these different things and different modalities, you would go, oh, I can make more powerful choices when it comes to eating or whatever, or figuring out, why am I sick, or this or that, like there's all these things that if we just had foundational conversations in life, not just 3D conversations, like, okay, I gotta learn my checkbook, which is important, but and read Shakespeare. I think that's important. But you know what I'm saying? It's like those things are of course important, but they don't add those other things in. How does my body work? What are my I love I love the Four Agreements, and I love what's the other book? It's called oh man, I just lost it. Anyway, there's just amazing things out there that if we had that just as a foundation, we would just go, okay, I can think, consciously.
Exactly. Sorry, Glenda. Look at the way that we have the Harry Potter school that introduced us all to all this wizardry and everything. Why not have the spiritual essence school?
Right. It
the
is magic.
School. Yeah, it's magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's alchemy.
Absolutely.
Changing, transforming.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we could go on to this subject all night.
Right.
But unfortunately, we can't, because we are now coming to the close. So just before we do, Glenda, can you share with our audience how they can contact you? Who would you like to contact, for them to contact? And a little last minute wish for word for 2024 as a wrap.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Phil, you can reach out to me, Glenda Benevides.com or glendamusic.com. It doesn't matter. It'll all get there. And if you're interested in the retreats or performances or anything dealing with that, you can also reach out to me or my publicist, Creative Edge publishing. I do a variety of speaking engagements and various things, mostly music. But yeah, that's how you can reach out to me. And I love supporting people in their own empowerment, especially women, and really stepping forward with their own courage and confidence. So I think if you want to have a conversation about that, I'm totally willing to do that. And as long as, you're willing to be proactive in life, I mentor right now. I mentor a Grammy artist in that whole process, and especially in performance. So just feel free and we'll have a conversation. And as far as for 2025, I'm going to say it again, and it's really about unity. It's really about being conscious and going within, know thyself. And that is very true. And, know that you do make the difference. You really do. You make a difference in somebody's life. Or you don't have to be, a world famous something. You can just be a world famous something for your family and the people that you love and love you.
Thank you so much, Glenda. Thank you for being a guest on the Film and Music Show. And we'll see you in 2025. And please let us know what happens February the 2nd. When the
we
Grammys
will. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you.
And the winner is.
And the winner is. Drum roll. Okay. Thank you, Glenda. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. I'm going to leave you on that note. Thank you so much for everyone that has supported and been on the Film and Music Show for 2024. All of you wonderful people from all the creative fields of the film and music. Thank you to our sponsor, Audi K Barrier. Thank you to our producer, Heather Joy. And of course, to the Chief of Operations, the mother of the mothership, USA Global TV and Radio, that is the wonderful Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. My name is Dr. Madelenechan, and I will see you in the year 2025 for a new series on the Film and Music Show. Until then, stay happy, be safe, and enjoy the rest of the holiday festivities. Bye.
In a world full of noise, misunderstandings, and interruptions, master the art of listening with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck is the listening mentor of USA Global TV and Radio and the Amazon #1 best-selling author of Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. Elevate your listening. Elevate your life. Join a global learning experience in person or via Zoom. Reserve your spot today. usaglobaltv.com/book-your-session or drjacalyn.thinkific.com. Join Dr. Kerbeck's listening courses or hire her to unlock deeper connections and authentic conversations.